news at the Dubai Air Show. We covered it with Harrison Miller and Ed Carson's team. BA is not a leader, obviously, but then again, we want to look at the ones that are actually showing a lot of strength. So, David, let's tag team together and look at a lot of these defense names. Which among them do you like right now? Here's KTOS.
I've looked at. I actually owned this back when it was in that 14 area, and then when it jumped up on the invasion of Israel, I actually sold it. I was looking at it yesterday, but I never did it. This is not the highest quality of stocks in that group, so I would be careful of this. I know they make. They're a big maker of drones and some very specialty type drones that go at super high speeds. But if you look at the weekly and look at the monthly, look at the history of this, it really hasn't been that good. I mean, even if you go to the monthly, you'll see that. It's never made a great move, and that's why I always like to go back. Does it have, and this can give you a tell on the quality of the leadership, the quality of the products. If it hasn't been able to make a huge move in the past, well, can it do it again? And so this is more of a trading vehicle. You buy it on pullbacks. I would look more. I thought I saw General Dynamics coming out of a nice base yesterday. I didn't do anything with it, but I saw it came up to that 245 area and it popped yesterday. I guess today it's actually down a little bit, but I think there are other ones in the aerospace that have done better. I think is it AAR Corp? Is that AIR?
AIR is the ticker, right? And yeah, I've got a slew of tickers we'll go through in addition to these.
That's a nice base that seems to be coming right out of there.
David, I'm glad we covered this one in like 3 out of the past 5 days on the show, and it's really showing a lot more strength. That relative strength line looks good. How about the volume characteristics? Let's look on a weekly chart. Yeah.
Not as this is not a super strong stock, but it's made a nice move over the last couple of years, and I think you go back to the monthly, you'll see that I think this thing has done well. Has not like a little choppy, but I mean the stock has had moves early 2000s. It made a nice move, but yeah, go through some of the other ones.
Yeah, Bob Razor. Good morning, Bob. Hope you're doing well up in Portland. He wants to look at HWM and get your take on Howmet, because you did bring this one up.
Yeah, this is kind of slow and steady, but nice gap up on earnings. It seems like their earnings just keep on coming through in those high 20s, early 30s% gains. But yeah, it's kind of a slower, steady mover. I mean, the things now since 2020 has gone from 10 up to 50. So it's doing well. I think right here, I would. This is tough because it gaps up on earnings. It sits, which is nice. Now, it might not be too far out of it. I mean, it hasn't gone to highs yet. I would really like to see it drift for a few days or to have some kind of pullback. So I think that at some point, it again maybe mix in with a lot of high octane stocks. It's a little bit slower and steady, but it's better, I think, if you can get it on some kind of 2-week pullback.
For sure. Okay, let's look at a few more names in this group. Let me clear all my messy drawings. Now let's go to Palantir, PLTR, which is in not 100% defense technology, but their software and analytics definitely get used. William is wondering whether you see a buy point at 20.24, or is there a more appropriate entry for Palantir, PLTR?
This has always been tough.
Hmm.
to get in. I mean, look, if you look at the time, I mean, other than it coming out of that 1031 area all the way back in May and having a nice run to 17, every time you've tried to buy this stock as it goes to highs, it pulls back on you. So at the early July, it pulled back. Then at the end of the July, it gets to 2041, then pulls back again. Tries to come out at 18, pulls back again. This is tough. I would probably wait until it pulled back down to 18 instead of coming out of 24, unless you really like the company. I mean, I see the huge earnings increases, but those are 7 versus 1, 5 versus a loss, 5 cents versus 2 cents. So uh, let's say this: I'm not buying it here.
Hmm.
Uh, it's just a little bit of a too much of a choppy stock to be buying it on strength.
Okay. Uh, let's see. In terms of other strong names, how about AVAV, David? This is one that we've also, I think, on IBD Live. I'm proud to say we've done a nice job of highlighting this one. Uh, you mentioned this several months
Yeah,
back, and
yeah, a
then
long
since
time
then,
ago.
I think despite its herky jerky action, it's still up probably 20-30% since you mentioned it first on the show.
Yeah, it's again jumps on earnings uh, right here. Again, it's a little bit, it's come out of from 120 area, now it's up to 126. I'm just, yeah. Again, I don't think I would be buying it right here. I'm looking really for, just perfect buy spots. And I'm sorry I can't
Yes,
say, okay, yeah, just go right ahead
of course, of course.
and buy it. But I'm not going to buy it. So you can go ahead and buy it. but but it's just, yeah, I would wait. To me, there's been a number of days. I mean, you look at 4 or 5 days ago where it traded higher and pulled back. So uh, not right here, but it might be ready in a week from now or a few days from now on a pullback. So again, put it on your watch list and wait, be patient.